Hello. So, apparently, a lot of people know Katao Shoujo, which is a visual novel. Well, instead of playing that, I'm gonna play this visual novel titled Lonely Yuri. Looks great. Like, from the screen, you can tell it's gonna be a great story. Just a head start, I've actually played, like, a few screens of this, or like a few minutes, and I just stopped. So you might see some save files already there. Just ignore those, I guess. She didn't want to return to her empty home, which is why she accepted the request. Even though she promised myself not to dive into these things without looking first anymore, the girl dejectedly thinks herself that this is just a repetition of last year. And now it has begun to rain. That rain sound scared me, honestly. It surprised me. I'm so cold. She doesn't want to bother taking her umbrella out of her bag, so she just starts running instead. It's bad. Fortunately, the house where she needs to go is close by. Oh. This has to be the place. After a moment's hesitation, she rings the doorbell. Excuse me, my name is Kono. I'm in the same class as Eba-san. Hard to read. There's a relieved reply from the other side, and the iron gates swing open. Maybe they are being controlled from inside the house. Fusa Kono steps across the rail that guides the heavy gates, thereby entering the garden of the Eba residence. Love how that character looks. She only came here to deliver some communication printouts, nothing more. But right now, Fusa is drinking tea, brought to her by a woman she believes is Eba's mother, for no reason other than that she couldn't turn down the invitation. I really wish I knew why I'm such a pushover. Then again, it's pretty nice to have a hot cup of tea after having run through the cold rain. She readjusts her formal sitting position as it was starting to slip. I know how that feels. Ellipsis. I wonder what Eba-san herself is doing right now. Her name is Eba, apparently. Something Eba. Oh. Fusa doesn't remember her first name. All she knows is that it's pretty trount girl, even by her class's standards. Wow. In fact, she hasn't attended school even once since the opening ceremony. This is the reason why Fusa is here in the first place. To give printouts and notifications to Eba-san. Her homeroom teacher more or less dumped the task on her. That's horrible. The lady said she'd be back soon, but it's coming up on 15 minutes now. On the other side of the table, from where Fusa is sitting, there's a couch. That must be a reserved seat. The room, although spacious, isn't very showy at all. Wow, showy at all. My bad. She was starting to stare at first, but she stopped herself. She feels it would be rude, but she can't relax when she's in someone else's territory, especially when the master of that territory isn't currently present. On the other hand, even if the master, Eba-san, doesn't return, Fusa doesn't know how she's supposed to behave. Should she just hand over the documents came to deliver and be on her way? Or is there something else she's supposed to do? How are you doing? Won't you come to school? What are you doing here at No, she can't possibly ask a question like that. There's a limit to how meddlesome you can be. Fusa regrets coming here, even if there's nothing she can do about it now. What could she possibly say to a girl who never comes to school? Jesus. Sorry. Suddenly she feels very tired, so she lies forward onto the table. Ellipses. From outside, there's a sound of falling rain. It sounds like it's raining even harder now. But from here, the sound is muffled. It's actually quite soothing. Really is. The scent of the tea enters her nostrils. It's a very nice tea. Maybe because it is such a nice household. Fusa likes tea, and yet she didn't realize how nice this tea smells until she closed her eyes. She regrets that. She takes a deep breath. She thoroughly inhales the scent of the tea. Ah. Now that she's lying on the table and enjoying the scent of the tea, her body suddenly feels very relaxed. Her clothes and hair almost dried now. They're a little stiff, but warm. Huh? It happens suddenly like something's falling over. Ha! A powerful drowsiness overcomes her and she can't stifle a yawn. Fusa's inner voice of reason asks if she actually is planning on sleeping here. But in spite of that, the drowsiness continues to deepen. Her eyelids refuse to open. With every breath, the sound around her becomes fainter. A warm feeling spreads through her body, making her hands and feet go limp. She really is in danger of falling asleep now. She needs to sit back up now. She needs to open her eyes. That's right, she needs to make an effort. She's got to think. That will drive off the urge to sleep. She could think about what to say to Eba-san when she appears, for instance, or about when it would be prudent to leave, or about something else. There's a lot to think about. Ellipses. I fell asleep just now, didn't I? Her mind refuses to do its job. The growing drowsiness has swollen into a big, white something which is smothering out her reason. But I wasn't tired at all until just now. Maybe I'm more tired than I thought. She thinks those words right when she needs an excuse. Maybe just a little while, as long as I wake up before Eba-san comes back. Her body won't obey her thoughts anymore anyway, but at least she can stop worrying now. Fusa Kono falls asleep, lulled by the sound of the rain outside. Warmth and softness fills the emptiness, but they are quickly taken away. Soon, nothing is left. All is reduced to naught. Why? More. Fusa reaches out for her dreams, yearning for the sensation that just left her. But the absence of it doesn't respond. It never does. Or at least, that's the way she thought. That's what she thought. Her hands are, in fact, touching something warm. She instinctively knows that what she's feeling is a body's warmth. Excuse me. Her whole body yearns for that warmth. She doesn't open her eyes yet, but she just gropes along the air, searching for it. Hehe. A laughing voice right near her ear, right by her ear. But it wasn't her own voice. Actually, she hasn't heard that voice before. What? She opens her eyes. Her gaze meets a wholly unfamiliar face. Shh. Oh! What's going on? Oh, that was abrupt. The information is entering her head, but her brain can't quite process it yet, and her body won't move. She's completely groggy. Hey! Her mouth set in that face, and let's be frank. It's quite a fetching face. Opens, and words come out of it. For a moment, it appears to Fusa that she's looking at a doll that's beginning to talk. Oh my god, I love this picture. What's your name? Fusa. Fusa? Simply nods. She simply nods. Fusa. The mezzo-soprano voice reverberates pleasantly in her ears. Fusa-chan. That's a pretty name. A sudden compliment startles her, but she's gad for receiving it. She likes her name after all. It's something given to her by her parents. We all have names given to us by our parents. This is a nice person. Fusa. The sound of that name often people frown or even laugh, but it's not like that with this person. She probably genuinely likes the name. For some reason, that knowledge makes her very happy. Fusa-chan. Wait a minute. come to think about it, that face in front of her is pretty close. She can't see much other than the eyes. Whoa, what? Huh? Well, why am I? Her brain finally kicks into gear, but it's quite too late now. The soft, warm touch of a pair of lips. That's right. This is the feeling she had in the dream. The warmth of two bodies touching each other, of touching someone else, of lips touching other lips. Oh, I hit the scroll button. No! Oh, there you go. She finally realizes what's happening to her, and she tries to sit up. But although her head is clear now, her body still is languid and unprepared to move. The eyes in front of her sparkle with amusement when they see Fusa's reaction. As if to tease her, two arms move around her in an embrace. Whoa, wait a minute. Since her mouth is currently obstructed, she can't speak. What's more, she's being held in a tight embrace, and the warmth is making her body go limp. It's only a mild kind of restraint, but she is powerless to resist. No, don't. She manages to mutter a word of refusal, and the lips finally pull away. I don't like these sound effects. Oh, you didn't like that? Oh my god, I love how that character looks. Eba, apparently. Well, why? She's dumbfounded at the calm attitude of the other girl. Besides, those arms are still wrapped around her waist. Doesn't look like that right now, but... Let me... She desperately pushes at her shoulders in an attempt to create distance between them. Let you... I mean... A finger pushes down on the tip of her nose, which makes her sneeze. Let me go, please. Oh, is that what you're going to say? She's doing it on purpose. I'm so sorry. The mezzo-soprano voice laughs merrily. Fusa finally sits upright. Wow, albeit with a strange kind of groan. She caught a glimpse of that smiling face when she sat up, and it had quite an impact on her. Jeez, what's going on? Besides, where am I? Oh, as Fusa scans the room in puzzlement, the memory of her own sleepiness comes back to her. As the recollection arrives, her charging leaves. This is... I can't believe I really fell asleep. What's the matter? I'm so sorry. Huh? This is... I'm in your room, aren't I, Eva-san? I'm... Seri. Huh? Seri Eba. That's my name. Oh. Yes. Seri-san. Seri? As in Nazuna, Gogyo, and Hakobera? The 7 flowers of spring? Yes, you got it right. You can just call me Seri. But I can't just call you by your first... No, wait. This is your room. I fell asleep in it. I'm really sorry. Jeez, I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. Her confusion is making her stammer. That's not surprising. She fell asleep in someone else's room, in a complete stranger's room, no less. Anyway, I'm very sorry. So, well, please excuse me. Fusa deeply bows her head. Don't know what was that. I'm sorry. Seri just smiles thinly. It's okay. I don't mind. Besides, I got more than enough in return. Oh my god. I'm in return. Fusa raises her head in puzzlement to find Seri staring directly at her. What? Their gazes don't quite meet. There seems to be a slight deviation. I guess I'm not the one who was being rude. Ah! Fusa hurriedly puts her fingers on her lips. Sari wasn't looking in her eye, she was looking at her lips. That's why they gaze and meet. Their gaze. That's why. That's right. That's right. We shared a. Fusa's face turns red. Oh my god, I am sorry. I'm misreading everything. Fusa's face turned red at a rapid pace. Sari's own cheeks flush a little when she sees that. They were so soft. It was my first, in contrast to the spellbound Sari. Fusa hangs her shoulders in dejection. Well, think of it this way. If it's between girls, it doesn't really count, right? It's like getting a slobber from a dog. Wait, what? Between girls? Fusa is suddenly very aware that the two of them are both girls. Wow. Is that even acceptable? No way. That's not right, is it? Oh, but at least a little better than if it'd be with a guy who I did it. Oh, wow. That D and the ID for that did is separated. No, wait. That's not what it's about at all. Even though... Oh, right there. I don't even know why she kissed me in the first place. Sorry about that. Why are you opening and closing your mouth like that? I'm not doing any such thing. Does this girl even realize what she's done? How can she smile so calmly like that? She can't understand it. Everything about this situation seems silly. The energy suddenly leaves her body, and she slumps down onto the floor. But she looks up at Sari and attempts to pull herself together, trying to keep her own face expressionless. What's with this girl? She's still looking at Fusa with a generous smile. Fusa averts her face so she doesn't have to meet her eyes. I'm going home. Huh? You're leaving? Of course I'm leaving. You don't have to shout. She tries to suppress it, but the disturbance inside, the unnecessary irritation she's feeling come bubbling to the surface. The fact that she's well aware of that only makes her angrier. She's not really lashing out as such, but it certainly looks like she is. That's because she's the only one she's the only one who's upset. The other girl is still quite composed. Well, anyway, I'm going home. Did you know what time it is? Do you know what time it is? Eh? Fusa looks at the clock. She didn't think to check until now. Sari is pointing into a small digital clock above the table. 1:10. If she remembers correctly, she came here around 4, maybe half past. Is it 1 o'clock in the afternoon now? No, that can't be right. What kind of time is 1 o'clock? Wait, what? 1 o'clock? Well, well, you were in a deep sleep, and I couldn't wake you. It's dark on the other side of the window, and it seems very quiet outside. Most people are asleep now. Wow, she slept through like the whole day. How long have I been asleep? Let's see. Must have been 8 or 9 hours, I think. A full sleep. For a moment there's a haze across her vision. I know I've been having trouble sleeping at night lately, but I can't believe this. What will you do? I mean, how are you gonna get home? Are you going to call a taxi? I can't afford that. But on the other hand, it's not like the buses and trains are running at this hour. Do you live within walking distance? Doesn't look like you do. Fusa looks down on the floor completely at a loss. Sari lets the silence go on for a few seconds, then she opens her mouth. Hey, why don't you stay here for the night? Are you sure you're okay with that? Fusa doesn't answer. She refuses to look at Sari, who is sitting on the bed wearing a smile. Can you sleep in a place like that? No, I'll be fine. I slept a lot just earlier, so I'm not going to sleep. Fusa is trying to act tough, but as a matter of fact, she's beginning to feel tired. The couch she thought was reserved for Sari is more comfortable than she had expected, and her eyelids are starting to feel heavy. She wonders if Sari picked this couch to herself. She didn't, and she must have quite a good sense of furniture. I believe. When she leans back, she sinks into the couch. It's neither too hard nor too soft. It's perfect for her weight. Oh no, I'm yawning. We've got to keep it back. Do you like that couch? What? Oh yes! I love the picture.